Welcome back, yet another quality review I have here. I did say this channel would be packed this month in terms of reviews, since for the first time on the channel this will be the most reviews uploaded within a single month. I was searching for random games that came out this year that no one has ever heard of, like indie games, and among them was Sea of Solitude. Now the original actually released on July 5th, 2019, however, just like Zack Snyder pulled up with his version of the Justice League, the director came out of nowhere and said, you know what, if Zack Snyder did his thing, maybe I should too. And boom, you get Sea of Solitude, the director's cut, that released on March 4th this year. So I see this as an absolute win. So join me into this tense freak of nature of a project developed by Joe May Games and published by EA, surprisingly. An adventure game I seem amused by while going through Nintendo eShop. How did I think? What did I look forward to? Did it manage to lift my expectations? And how much time I had on this $20 game? Well, say no more. You came to watch Hypebeastman talk through these projects, and that's what I'm here to do. So let's get started. Sea of Solitude's approach took its measurements on a dark turn of events that seems like a dream in a way it kind of is, having to face the darkness and embrace the light in which you follow through the course of the game. This project has chapters, but are small yet gives you enough time to get a certain message of the story. I beat this in one day, so yeah. Enter this drowned city to something that seems to be a misunderstanding and lonely as you take on these adventures to conquer your fears. Just to be expected, you explore, landscape these areas to open up a new hidden path as you fire a flare to continue seeking your purpose. Audiences love this. Critics are mixed in the swing of things. In some way it can be controversial because depending on how you look in the matter on scenes causing chilling reactions really tells you a lot on what you just played. By exiting out with an expression like what the fuck was that, or I need more, that wasn't enough. It's interesting, while being dark and beautiful at the same time, funny when putting it that way because it's true. Honestly, when you think you know what to expect, trust me, you don't. Cause as many times of predicting the unpredictable, I gave a round of applause cause it really fooled me here. The soundtrack, atmosphere, the openness of these areas as you discover these hidden cities is charming and one of the most satisfying things I've ever looked at. I was in tears of joy, simply put moved by the art, the style, and pacing. Playing Sea of Solitude was so relaxing and such laid back moments, yet I always felt like I accomplished something with no trouble whatsoever. It's rewarding the more you explore and understand the background. I thought this would be a family-friendly game, but as I understand the meaning behind Isolations of Solitude, I was just blown to pieces of myself. So many scenes of me being shocked, excited, thrilled, humble, nervous, and desperate. After the first 10 minutes of not being bored and was just moving around to a point, I find myself going through these chapters. All I was thinking to myself was the following: I wonder what's going to happen next. Who the hell is that? I hope this character I'm playing as is beautiful when she isn't in her negative dark form. Man, I'm glad I bought this. This is awesome. Did I just seriously go through the entire game that fast without even thinking about the runtime? All this was thoughts in my head that occurred the more I came to my sense and tagged along, showing and telling you that you never know what to expect when buying a random game without embracing the unexpected. I know what you're thinking, trust me, the characters don't actually look like this. To be more specific, as each dark figure represents negative energy, having doubt or feeling insecure about yourself or something that seems to be a bother. The characters deal with depression, loneliness, and takes on a form of frightening beast in which Kay, the main character, comes through and introduces herself and says, I am here to save the day. At least that's how I pictured it in my head, but at least it wasn't predictable. The characters here are realistic. There is no peace. By that I mean, think about a realistic relationship between a mother and a father arguing, and one says something they don't mean. All this while their children hears or watch them. I'm surprised an idea like that was even done here. Like I mentioned, I didn't expect much. One thing I must point out that if I was to complain about in this game is how they look. They look so, how to put it, not expressive, it's just laughable. I didn't expect to see how they looked it in their actual form, just to not fit their voices at all. And speaking about voices, I wish the voices were a bit more monsterish. It ruins the mood when I hear a kid in his demonic form. Sounds like how he sounds. I get that you want us to have an idea on who is who, but don't do it in such a child's play way, cause it's not a child's like game. This game has a immense design with gorgeous textures to the mix. Couldn't keep my eye off it. Can you blame me? For example, if I was to go back to an area I was in the early game, it would not look like how it was before. It's not open world, but it sure feels like it. Scavenging these areas, I fucking love it. I cannot keep my eye off this exquisite, dazzling piece of art that knocks it out of the park cause it's too good to be overrated. It's elegant to look at no matter how you want to put it, and something I can't get over no matter how many pigeons or bottles I collect, because in the game there are things you can do if you aren't trying to rush or finish this project too early. As for its controls, it feels relaxing, it's smooth. That's if you take off the vibration of the controller, of course. Thank goodness, cause it was bothering me. My hands felt like they were about to come off any second. The only things I would want and hope for if they're going to make another game is fighting combat where you aren't just interacting with things. Characters' faces, they all just look plumpy, unrealistic, and just weird. And of course, a much more open world to explore and take hikes, flights, observe, echo across new lands, anything for adventurers to just keep moving forward no matter what. To be honest, I'm not so sure if I can even call this a combat system since you're not exactly throwing hands, but you are moving around and interacting, so again I see this as an absolute win. For the most part, I was just being bullied here as you see in these clips. The environment is sure as hell creepy. Sometimes it may feel cluttered when these kiddos pushes you around, but when push comes to shove, you'll feel invincible, as you can spark a flare on a light post and just anything light related really, so it's killing two birds with one stone. The only thing lacking is the lack of combat. It's stated action, but the only action here is that gator figure that you have to keep your eye on, because if not, this will most likely happen to you. I'm surprised they didn't show blood in this, considering its theme. I guess it would ruin the textures and beauty of this piece. It can be challenging to roam around, especially in the late game, because these fuckers just won't hold back or hop off at all. Like, please, my private part needs some space, my friend, and you're barging in like if you don't have the guts to come back, like I'll kick your ass. And the fact you're lucky it's not real combat, in fact, because otherwise I would have already done just that. I'm done ranting, let's just talk quality time, baby.
Where'd you go?
Originally, I had no plans of reviewing this project. Wasn't because I didn't have high hopes. I felt as if I didn't have enough time on my hands and time for another review. With this development being short, it saved me enough trouble off my hands to be able to take breaks once in a while. I love the story, its approach, thinking it's a dream, realizing it's a reality that you have to fix to make things right when shit hits the fan. The creativity among men, and no, I haven't played the first one before the director's cut. I have no room to say which is better. I can say I enjoyed myself with this one though. Even only moving around and interacting, I never got bored because it kept me entertained. Once I get fixated, I don't stop until seeing something all the way through. You can thank its dark theme and atmosphere, leaving a player like me cautious until the game ended. The way how gloomy, dim, unlighted, and shadowy Sea of Solitude represented itself once I approached made me wonder how would it be like this entire time. It was tense, yet I loved it, and at this point I'm praising cause it's really worth praising for. It's like the speed of light. I'm fast as fuck, boy, cause the darkness cannot best me. I may be a turtle, but don't underestimate me in the seas. I lived long enough to see the tales. As for my blasphemous speech on me being a super turtle, this turtle here approves this glossy, immense, self-devoted experience of a project the director had to cut to get the memo of its take. While being short on its runtime, I felt I was understanding everything within that amount of time given to me. I can humbly say for a project only worth 20, it's worth a try for those who admire views and wants to experience a grittier atmosphere with tense design that is honestly worth the while. I've given Sea of Solitude the director's cut an 8 out of 10. What a game, and I hope for its return for a sequel. I have 2 more reviews, 1 more highlight video coming for this month to the channel. Be sure to hit the notification bell to get the latest news on Hypebeastman channel, and as for the rest, well, shouldn't say much. I'll wait until May. Anyways, I hope you enjoy, stay tuned, and peace y'all!